Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in yesterday's video we showed you how to create a pop-up without installing a plugin using a bit of CSS and JavaScript. Today we're going to show you how to do that with a plugin. It's one of my favorite plugins, Divi Supreme Pro. I've got a little icon up here. It's fixed position, so when I roll up and down the screen it's going to stay exactly where it is. When I click on it, it's going to pop out a little contact form. And of course people can fill it out and send it off. Then when they're done they can either click the X or anywhere outside and it'll go back. And that'll stay there. Nice little feature to have on your site. Okay, well let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Okay, once enabled I'm going to delete my little icon I've got up here. And we'll start from scratch. Now the first thing we want to do is create whatever it is you want to pop up. And you can pop up pretty much anything. You can pop up a whole section or a row or an individual module. I'm just going to create a contact form and we'll pop that one up. And it doesn't matter where we put it because it's going to be fixed position. So I'm going to add a new module. Little dark button to add a new module. I'm going to use the contact form. There it is, right there. And of course you've got a name, email, message. You can add new fields and checkboxes by hitting that right there. You can give it a title if you want to. And it'll appear at the top like that. As you can see, there it is right there. And if you notice when I roll over this, little blue buttons appear with a paintbrush. If you click on those, that'll take you to the edit for whatever it is attached to there, which is a nice little shortcut. Okay, success message. Let's just say message sent. That'll pop up after they send it. Submit button. I'm happy with it to say submit, so I'll leave that just as it is. Email, the important bit where you want this form sent to, so me at my email. Message pattern, you can change what you receive here by putting in double percentage signs. Don't need to do anything like that. Don't want to redirect, I just want it to say message sent. Spam protection, that's that right there. You can add a third party such as Google reCAPTCHA if you want to, if you've got an API key. Don't want to link this module to anywhere. I will put a background in just when it pops up so we can define it. So I'm going to make my background purple. And I'll put a bit of spacing so it's got some breathing space. And make that text white and in the middle. So I'm just going to roll over the title there, hit that little blue dot, takes me straight to it. I'm going to make it white in color. I'm going to put it in the middle, and let's perhaps capitalize it. Okay, while we're on the design tab, I'm going to go down to spacing and give it a bit of padding. I'm going to give it 25 pixel around, just put in the 25, it'll put in the pix. Hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side. There we go, we've got a little contact form, not very exciting, I know, but this is just for demonstration purposes. What I'm going to do now is save this to my library and delete it. And this is what we're going to pop up. So I'm going to save the changes there, roll up over the module. When you click on it, you'll see a little round icon just between the duplicate and the trash can there. Click on it, and we can save it to our library. I'm going to call mine perp form. Call it what you want. It's a good idea if it means something to you, especially if you've got a lot of things in your library. Don't want to save it to the cloud. Don't want to save it as global. I'm just going to go ahead and save to my library. Great. Well, now we've done that, we can actually trash this. Now comes the fun bit. We've got to do the actual pop-up and grab an icon in this case and create a pop-up from it. Now to do this today, like I mentioned earlier, we're using Divi Supreme Pro. Once you've got it installed and activated, you'll find it down here. You want to click on it, go down here to Divi Supreme Pro. And you want to make sure you enable Divi Pop-up by turning that to the right hand side so it's purple like that. Now these are extensions, and there's some of the things that really do set Divi Supreme above a lot of the other plugins. The Divi Pop-up being one of my favorite things, allows you to pop up just about anything from anything. So once you've done that, make sure you save your changes. Now if you forget to do this today, or you don't have Divi Supreme installed, this is not going to work. Okay, well let's presume you've done that. We'll go back to our page. Now what I'm going to do is add an icon. So again, I'm going to just click on this module. I'm going to hit the little dark button to add a new module. And let's use an icon module. There it is. I'm going to simply search for a male. Let's use that one. I used it before. It worked quite well. There it is right there. I'm going to go over to the design. Alignment wise, I'm going to have it on the right hand side. Remember, it's in this column right here at the moment. We're going to use a bit of fixed positioning on it. And let's actually change the color to purple and take it down to about 60 pixels. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is place it up here so it stays here all the time when we're rolling up and down the site. To do that, we need to roll over to our advanced, and this is common to all Divi modules. I'm going to go down to position, and I'm going to change it from default to fixed. Now you might think it's disappeared, but actually it's at the top left of our screen up there. We've got a little matrix over here. You can put it where you want, middle, bottom, right. I'm going to put mine top right. I've got a sort of semi-transparent header there so you can see some of it up there, but it's way too high for me. So I'm going to roll down a little bit. With the vertical offset, I'm going to bring it down to where I want it, which is somewhere about there. I'm going to bring it out slightly from the side. I'll just use little arrows to increment up on this. Yeah, that's going to work for me. And down below we've got a Z index. At the moment it's not set. I would recommend just sliding it as far right as you can, because we want this to be set on top of everything else at all times. And if you still have problems, you can type in a crazy value if the slider doesn't go up high enough for you. But usually default 500 usually works quite well. Okay, we've done that. Now what we want to do is enable the pop-up part of this. So when they click on it, it's going to pop up our little contact form. Still in the Advanced tab, we can close up our position. Go up to Visibility, just above Transitions. Roll on down, and you'll see a little switch there. If you don't see a little switch there that says Use Pop-up, chances are you've not done this. You want to make sure that's enabled and saved in Divi Supreme Pro. So I'm going to switch that to yes, so we can use one. I want to pop out a layout, and I actually want to pop it out from my library. We're going to need to refresh this page before that module we saved will turn up in the library. So let's do that. I'm going to save the changes here. I'm going to save the changes here. And let's refresh the page. And once refreshed, we can go back into our module. As we've used fixed positioning, I can get into this one. This is working fine. Occasionally, you're going to have trouble getting to it. If you can't get it because it's behind something or just out of reach, go down to the little purple button at the bottom. Left-hand side, there's a little icon here, wireframe view. If you click on that, it shows you the sort of back-end version, and there's the icon where we originally made it in that row there. When you're happy, go back. Okay, well let's go in there and pop up our little contact form. Back over to Advanced, to Visibility, Use Pop-up. We want to pop up a layout. I'm going to select it from my library. Should be right on the bottom. There it is, perp form for the purple form. We can trigger it on module click. That'll work for us. If you're using a different module for this, there's various different options. For instance, a button, if your module has a button. Images, hyperlinks by ID, by CSS class, page load, scroll, exit intent. There's some fantastic options there. But I'm going to do it on module click because that's a module, and when they click on it, I want it to work. You can have a little trigger either outside or inside. I'm going to leave mine outside. When they click on it, it's going to close it. Don't want to use auto close. You can use that if you want to. Turn it on and it'll automatically disappear after a period of time that you specify in there. And if you've got some crazy entrance and exit animations. I'm going to leave mine on the default there of fade. Pop-up position, I want it to be in the center of the screen. When they try and scroll up and down, I want it to stay there, so I want it to be absolutely positioned. You can use full width if you want to. I find that this 680 default works on all devices pretty well for me. If you want to, you can click the little icon here, and this is again common to most Divi modules. And you can set different values for tablet and desktop. Show and overlay, yep, want it to darken out the background for us. And there's the color. You can specify any color you want. And we do want to show a close button so they can click on it and get out. Button's going to be inside. You can choose the size of the font, the color, and the icon if you want to. The default's an X, which is pretty standard for closing things, so I'm going to leave mine on that. You can give it a background color if you want to. I'm going to leave everything else just as it is, and we should be good to go. Let's save our changes here. Again, we'll save the page changes. And exit our visual builder. And there we have it. There's our little icon. When I click on it, it's going to pop up our little contact form we made and save to our library. Click on the little X to get rid of it, or you can click anywhere outside of it. And it's fixed position, so it's going to stay there when we roll up and down the site. And it'll also work on tablet and mobile. Let's just check that. There it is on a tablet, iPad Air. Now let's have a look on an iPhone or something like that. There we go. You could make it slightly smaller if you wanted to on an iPhone, but I mean that's going to work fine. So there you have it, guys. There's how to create a little pop-up using a plugin, Divi Supreme Pro. If you want to learn more about Divi Supreme, I've got a whole playlist down there. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.